After victory at the Combat of the 30, the French faced devastating raids from England's Black Prince. But France's King John II was closing in. Jean finally caught the English near the city of Poitiers in September 1356. The French army outnumbered the English by thousands. King Jean himself joined the fight, but what seemed a certain victory for France soon turned into a nightmare. The English longbow devastated the mighty French army. An endless hail of arrows gutted the main French force. Then the English captured King Jean. The fight was over. The Battle of Poitiers was another catastrophic defeat for the French. The English had destroyed most of France's nobility in a single day. Now they turned their attention towards taking the French capital, Paris. The invaders marched unopposed towards Paris. The remains of some of the medieval walls of Paris still stand today. As the English army approached, the terrified locals sought shelter behind these defenses. Could France's capital withstand the full might of the Black Prince's army? The English Black Prince had raided the French countryside without mercy. And now his army had come for the capital. With the English on their doorstep, it fell to the French army and the people of Paris to defend the walls of their proud city. Hoping to avoid open battle, the French began fortifying the city, manning the walls and calling every available soldier to his post. As the French hastened their preparations, several detachments of English soldiers were spotted closing in on the city.
Besogne fait, suis sans bruit. Manons, preste à ouvrir.
En besogne. I trej sens nul arrest.
Besogne nos attendent. Manons, Manons, en commune.
Oyez les ordonnances.
En comprince.
Si, comme volets.
Advertance tout le monde.
Advertance, tout le monde.
Marche derrière moi.
Manons, presta. Allons, Manons.
Que faut-il donc besoigner? I trej sens nul arrest. Manons, obronton. Si, comme volets.
The English showed no mercy, burning their way to Paris via 3 routes, each of which was home to villages and farms that supplied the capital.
À votre commandement.
Oyez, tout le monde. Si, vais exploiter.
Oh, me faire trahir.
Oyez,
Poised, messieurs des mouets.
Bien, bien.
Oh, yes, les ordonnances. Accordé. Laissez-moi exploiter. Yes. Fouiller est ma toute vie.
Advers à votre commandement.
En besoin.
Besoin à faire.
Oh, yes, tout le monde.
Bien, oyez. Besoin. Besoin de nos attentes. Que faut-il donc? Annonce. Offense donc. Giovanni Bastir.
Veuillez-moi. Attendez les commandements, Manance. Que faut-il donc? Reste pour la besogne, Manance. Tous te y a l'oreille.
Oi. Mestière de mouet. Tous y a l'oreille.
Obelestier, avant. Allons, compris. Obelest au col, avant.
Manuerasu.
Having struck out at the English front line, the French had slowed the enemy's advance.
Oh, me faut trahir. Joignez la suce.
Oh, me fa au trail.
En besoin.
Oh, me fa au trail. Bon, va servir. Hé, bois de pause. Véquière, Mériens. Besoin à faire. Lors bâtie de s'estui.
Oil.
Pas de besoin.
Veuillez-moi besoin. Lors bâti de
Un
s'essuie.
besoin.
En besoin.
Oyez, les ordonnances. Lors devant Snos, alerte.
Chascus, ens, moult avance, voué à trait. Jet Stars, Pex, Sonos Legion. J'y vois.
Oi, mestière. Que faut-il donc besoigner? Giovanni, oh me fa au trail. Besoigner à faire. Mestière de mouet. Voyez mouet besoigne. Lors bâtige en besoin. Lors bâtige s'estui.
Oil.
Ça
Messieurs
est
des
belle
mouets.
manouère.
Que faut-il donc besoigner?
Ça est belle manouère.
Giovanni Bastir. Besoigner à faire.
As the French continued to rally their army, the English took the last of the surrounding villages and had almost encircled Paris.
Bonne besogne, expect.
Oyez tous le monde. Allons, ça tresse tous.
Oh, me faut trahir. Tous te y a l'oreille.
Besoigner à faire. Giovanni,
Que faut-il donc besoigner? Bastir.
With the countryside in flames and the English at the city gates, the French army steeled themselves for battle.
Lors bâti de s'essuie. En besoin.
Now came the capital's true test. Would the mighty walls of Paris hold against a fearsome English siege?
Longtemps va-t-il demeurer?
oh me fa au trail. Donc, l'oreille. Que faut-il donc besoigner? Giovanni,
The Parisian guard raised the alarm as the English began their first assault on the city walls.
Lors en besoin. Donc, l'oreille. Mestière de mouet. Lors bâtige s'estui. Longtemps. Oh me fa au trail. Donc, que faut-il donc besoigner faire?
Advertance. Provence à Investir des Poised.
Die Gemsdarm vollkommen Poised. Die Chevaucheurs, escutem. Compagnons of the faith. Die Gemsdarm los tierra. Monte jouer
On me faut trahir.
The French army fought valiantly, repelling the first English attack.
Die Gemsdarm postiert.
Que faut-il donc?
Advertence, 12 monde.
Toast-ya, Lauretz.
Que faut-il donc? Reste pour la besogne, manance. Giovanni, besogne à faire. Tostia, Lorraine, besogne. Giovanni, Basti. Manuer assouvi. Bel ça est bel manuer. Bonne besogne.
Compagnon, reste bouche avant de jouer après. Si faites votre commandement.
Archers. Ça est belle, Manuel.
Advertence, 12 monde. Baise à la mine.
L'homme se bat ici comme un rêve.
Tres tous sommes prêts incontinent. À comment ça? Soyez prêts. Quel est votre plaisir? Il n'y faut
L'ennemi d'Asarchi!
Service votre serveuse.
Bayez zmoj.
Oh yes, tout le monde. Oui, das. Lors Batige s'estuit.
Although the walls of Paris had been breached, the French could still hold the city, so long as its mighty landmarks did not fall.
Manuera Spi.
Non stia Loretz.
The French defense of their capital held firm, wearing down the English invaders one by one.
Dites-moi mon Versailles, vos armes. Le ferai. Dites-moi mon Versailles. Découvrir. Je vole le champ. Archère, allons, brillement. Dicte-moi mon Versailles. En besoin. Bien, bien. Baïs. Lors Batige s'estuit.
Chevalier. Alarson, fils. J'attends. La mort ablaze de Versnos!
Besoin d'y a fait?
The enemy grew ever more desperate as their ranks thinned and their hopes of victory faded.
Mon arc est prêt.
Die Chevaucheurs sont prêts, Chevaucheurs. En avance pour la bouée. Reste tous à votre service. Incontinent. Je suis votre service. Pour votre service.
Defeated and demoralized by the strength of the French defense, the Black Prince's army abandoned their siege of the capital. Paris celebrated victory, but this was not the last test the French would face in their struggle to win the war. The battlefields of the 100 Years' War were full of danger. To defend against these weapons, a new type of armor was developed: plate armor.
Plate armor clad the knight in an articulating exoskeleton of hardened steel. A hard outer shell that still flexes and moves with the body.
It provided impressive protection and was an extraordinary technological achievement.
Now, one of the ways that armor gets its strength is through shape. Both of these pieces are made out the exact same thickness as steel, but I can show you there's one stronger than the other. Here's the one with no shape. You see it buckles immediately. If I swap it for one that's been forged to have strength and shape, you can see it's much stronger. It's going nowhere.
It wasn't just the shape that gave it strength. It was also how the metal was treated by the armorer.
Now, the benefits of using heat is it obviously makes the piece more plastic, more ductile, lets me shape it. But the fuel also adds layers of carbon into the outer surface. This helps me increase the hardness and strength of the material.
The art of the armorer was being able to judge the temperature of the metal by eye, managing the heat to create resilience in the metal. The combination of heat-treated metal and rigid shapes meant that armor didn't need to be so thick and heavy, making it much easier to fight in. But good quality plate armor did have its downside. It was very expensive.
Now, not everyone could afford full steel plate armor. For the common man, there was the brigandine. Now, these are made up of overlapping steel plates that are then riveted through a textile outer. This gives you a much bigger range of movement, but is limited and is not as strong as a full steel breastplate. That said, it is much cheaper and much easier to maintain.
At its best, the armored knight was invincible. But armor didn't just provide defense. It was also a weapon and an expression of a knight's power and prestige. Armor transformed its wearer into a work of art.